I remember before I went to Russia, I had this idea of Russians being very cold or stern, not very friendly. And in some respects, that's probably true, especially in public. If you don't know someone and you greet them in public, they get caught off guard. They're not sure what to think. You know, you go up to someone, "Здравствуйте, как у вас дела?" and they're taken back, like, "Do I know you?" Because normally you don't greet someone that you don't know. It's got to be a formal introduction process before you can greet someone in public. But for those that you do know, and for those that you go inside of their homes, they're some of the most loving, hospitable people you'll ever meet. Very kind, very friendly, very hospitable. They would offer us anything that they had to eat. Chai, which is just tea, and pechenya, which is just like crackers or cookies. Anything that they could offer us to have something to eat while we were a guest in their home. And I think that's a side of Russians that a lot of people who haven't been there don't really see or truly understand. They know how to have fun. It seems like they have a holiday for almost every single day of the year. And the joke is that it's just a reason for everyone to drink. You know, vodka and alcohol is a very big thing in Russia. And so anyway, all these праздники, all these holidays are a reason for them to drink. But it's also just reasons to get together with family and friends and to celebrate whatever it is, whether it's Flower Day or Pancake Day or all the random days that they have. It's they look for opportunities to celebrate, and that was something that I thought was unique and that I enjoyed. Some unique foods that I was exposed to. They have a drink that's called kefir, and it is similar to what we know as buttermilk, but they drink it straight. Some people drink it straight here too, I guess, but I tried that and it was disgusting. Great for buttermilk pancakes though. Another drink that's called kvass. And kvass is similar to like a non-alcoholic beer here. It's made from bread, but it's kind of carbonated too, but it's also disgusting. But something that they really enjoy, especially those who are trying to get away from, alcohol or whatever, they would still have their kvass, which tasted similar to alcohol. They love pig fat. There's this, it's called sala, and it's just straight pig fat, and they just eat it with their bread or whatever it may be, just because it's salty and has a lot of flavor. But there's a unique dish called холодец, and how I would describe холодец is gelatin, but it's like meat gelatin. So it's basically like solidified grease and fat, and also they love it for the flavor and for the saltiness of it, I think. But those are some unique things that we were fed. You eat a lot of potatoes, you eat a lot of lettuce, a lot of soups, some rice. Down in the southern parts where I served, where there's Stani people, there's this dish called plov, which is so delicious. It's rice, maybe I say that now because I got used to bland foods, but rice, carrots, some sort of meat, whatever it is, chicken or beef or whatever they decide to use in it, onions and garlic, and then they put a special spice in there, plovsky spice. It's just delicious. We had a family from Uzbekistan that just made the best plov. It was so delicious. Well-known Russian dishes, soup called borscht, which is a beet soup, also delicious. It's a beet soup and it has a really red hue to it, but it also consists of potatoes and lettuce and beets, obviously, and onions and carrots. And they say it's not quite done unless you can stick your spoon in it and let go, and the spoon will just stay straight up. It's just so thick with different types of vegetables and meats, and usually they'll try to stew it with a bone with meat around it, or some sort of meat to make it really thick towards the end. But those are some of the foods that I was exposed to. Oh, another funny story with food is, because Russians have such bland food, even putting chili and taco seasoning, like mild taco seasoning on meat for them to try, was incredibly spicy. They're used to such bland food that any type of spice, even pepper, is spicy for them. So grocery stores in Russia are getting more modernized, but if you're in a smaller city, they're just small little neighborhood grocery stores, and you'll look at the meat and think, wow, I'm never going to touch that. Russians don't eat what we know as a sandwich. Putting bread and meat and cheese and lettuce and another piece of bread on top is kind of an interesting concept to them. Although they have something kind of similar, it's called a butterbrod, and it's like one piece of bread with some meat and cheese on top of it. They have a lot of different forms of public transportation, and it's really efficient too. They have buses, trolley buses, they have shuttles, taxis, trains, and then what's called an elektrichka, which is quasi-train slash trolley type of thing. But like I said, very efficient. You could get anywhere in the city that you wanted to using public transportation. The taxi is just called a taxi in Russian. The shuttles are actually referred to as marshrutka, and it can fit anywhere from 12 to 15 people or so inside of it. A bus is called a trolleybus or an avtobus, and that could be getting you from one city to the next if it's only 2 to 5 hours away. Also, trolleybus is just a trolley bus, which they have these big cable lines that run down the main parts of the city, and they're just powered electronically. Using electricity, and they can get a lot of areas close to downtown. Then there's an elektrichka, which is like a train, but not exactly. You're sitting upright in it, and it can be for 1 to 6 hour transportation rides to different cities. And then there's poizd, which is a train, and that can be sitting up, but it's usually coupes, which are just little rooms that you're inside of the train, and they have little bunks that you lay in, and that would be for rides that you needed to take to get to different areas that were usually 6 to 8 or above in terms of hours to get from one place to the next.